Wow, what God has put in the hands of man is amazing what he has allowed for man. God's might is displayed in every single waking second of a human being. Just think about this body working. Just think of this body. This one body is more complex than the whole world put together. That it works the way it does. It works like, if you please, an atom. It works like the whole world works, if you please. You could take the whole world and dissect it and put it over a human body. And that's what a human body does. That blood comes all the way out. Look at those fingernails made in this body. Look at that nose and the eyes and the eyebrows and the hair, the ears, the mouth. Look at everything God made. He made this man, laid him down by the river Euphrates, breathed the breath of life. Have you got the breath of life in God today of you? Have you asked him this morning, today, to come and live with you and to follow you and to give you what you need today? Let's look at a mighty display of God's, what he did. The work of the Lord is great. Wow. That statement deserves a pause, but we don't have time to do that. Sought out of all of them that have pleasure therein. We have pleasure in these days God made. He made man for the earth, and he made the earth for man. And he made it so that it would worship him. There is one course. God's might is displayed in his work as the creator. He not only just created the whole universe, but he thought enough about having some worship that he created everywhere, everything. His fingerprint is omniscient. It's omnipresent. He is the creator. We explore the mysteries of the atom. We reach out to the stellar. I went out the other night and laid in the parking lot, put some blankets down, hauled a blanket over me, it was cold, and laid there and looked at the stellar, what God has made in the little bitty section I could see from my yard. Wow. I was talking to the Lord. Lord, I thank you for what you've done for us. We research out the stellar. It expires. And the empires and to see the evidence that the incredible might which the orbit and the galaxy, and we could explore the stars, but we never would get to the end. You know, no man, with everything that we have today, no man has made a good estimate of how many stars there are. Or they lock up within the atom. The power of the orbit in a city. Listen. Inside of an atom is a picture of the whole world in one little atom. And it's unexplorable. There is power to harness an earthquake and to summon an eclipse or erupt a volcano in an atom. Can you imagine that? There is two. God's might displayed as controller of the universe. God is the controller of everything. He designed it and he threw it out there and he said, stay where I put you and do what I tell you to do. And he picked out a people. The Jewish people he picked out for himself. He carried them out of Babylon into a good land. And then they were conquered by some Persians. But this guy named Cyrus, who was a very good man, after he conquered all this and he had the Jewish people, he turned them loose. He sent them back to build the promised land. God had evidently stuck his finger in Cyrus's mind and heart. And it is the essence of worship to give God our thanks and adoration and praise for being the kind of God he is. Now we can see what he did for the children of Israel in their rebellion. We are, if you please, a world of rebellion today. But God is still on the throne and he's still seeing us through. So if you want a good life, find out where to get with God and get with him on a daily basis. Start right here if you want to in the morning, after you have your morning prayer. And start right here and get a little excerpt and a little interest and come back in the evening. Open your Bible, carry one with you in the car. Sit there before you run into work and read you something, a psalm or something, and do it. Now, this is a quick thing. This is a 5-minute thing, and to me it's like 2 minutes or like a second almost. And so get in the Word,